Gotta be the man right there. Kevin Durant dropping 27 on Anthony Davis and the Pellies in his first game back, returning from the Jones fracture that kept him out so far for all of the season except for that Pelicans game. First things first, guys, Russell Westbrook back on the court for the Oklahoma City Thunder along with Kevin Durant. Both NBA superstars coming back off of injury. Are you worried about this team pressing with two superstars for the playoffs? These guys are hurt, and they're going to push and probably play a lot more minutes than should be. Is that a concern for you guys?
Yeah.
Especially for the future for this franchise.
They're not recurring habitual injuries for these guys.
They're not yet.
Yeah, but they're healthy. They wouldn't come back if they weren't healthy. And I mean, those guys they want to play.
There's pressure for
Westbrook used to be an Iron Man up until a couple injuries, so it's like I'm not worried about that.
He was an Iron Man until he got hurt in the playoffs, missed a bunch of time, then he got hurt again. You get where I'm going with this? Now he's back.
I think these guys need to get on the phone and call D Rose and find out how not to keep getting hurt. You know what I'm saying? How not to keep getting hurt. But real quick, I just want to say that in my books, Kevin Durant is the best player in the league. Hopefully he listens to his body and not give in to that pressure that you can sometimes get from the media. Well, yeah, he is kind of thin. But at the end of the day, he's a very efficient basketball player, and I'm hoping that he'll be okay.
I think the damage is done. I don't think this team makes playoffs.
No.
I don't think so. If we use last year as a threshold, 49 wins gets you in. They're going to have to go 67%.
It's the Western Conference.
Okay, A, it's the Western Conference. B, you have to win 67% of your games from now to the end of the season to make 8th.
Yes.
That is a ridiculous number, especially when you consider how stacked the Western Conference is. For whatever reason, if these two are able, and I think it's the end of this dynamic duo. I think it's the end of the Durant Westbrook era. I really do. I think by the end of this season, we're going to see some massive changes. These are two guys
I hope
who
it's
clearly
the end of the Scott Brooks era, personally. I just do.
I don't see these guys relinquishing and backing down. You have some guys who can work it. You have some guys who in the offseason can work through their differences. These two do not want to work through their differences.
You think so?
We might do it short term. We might see it over 20 games.
Scoop here, though?
No. I'm going based on just on ball possession. Just on ball possession, amount of times he takes shots, just the amount of times that Westbrook. He's not playing as a leader of this team. These are two guys. This is not a superstar team. It's a team of superstars. It's a huge difference for this team.
Which is what we're talking about last time. I don't think it's the best dynamic.
I don't think so at all.
I just want to throw this one out there, though. You talked about the 67% of their games you're going to have to win at least to make 8th.
To make 8th, yeah.
Do you see them making 8th?
I don't.
You don't see them winning 70% of the games remaining?
I'll tell you, if for whatever reason they do, and I'm wrong, I'll tell you that they're a scary 8.
That's what I was trying to get at.
What a great first-round matchup that's going to be.
But that's a scary one, though. You know what? You got to get the 7 or 6.
You got to get
exactly. In all fairness, it might actually be a better position for OKC to be in compared to all the previous years where all the pressure was on them. Finally, you limp into the playoffs.
No.
You've gotten over this. You've accomplished something through the season. You've made playoffs, which is a huge achievement. And now all of a sudden, you have a chance to upset. This is a great scenario.
But 8th on the Spurs team is tough. If the Spurs are number 1, you don't want to be.
This is not your typical 8th seeded team, though.
Yeah, but
I would have never thought I would have said OKC would have been an 8th seed.
Okay, guys, I know you guys want to talk about OKC all day, but there's another team that everyone hates me for wanting to talk about all the time. The Charlotte Hornets. I came into this year thinking that the Charlotte Hornets were about to make some damage in the NBA. Here's the quote from Zach Lowe of Grantland. It goes, the Hornets have been aggressive, making calls. Basically says something about Turkey and the fact that everybody's available except for Kemba and Al. So first things first, were you guys fans of, or did you guys think this Charlotte Hornets team was on the come up, on the rise, heading to the playoffs at the beginning of the season?
I think Charlotte's cursed.
That's what you think? Why? Because Michael owns the team?
Cursed. Michael was the greatest player in the history of the game, is the greatest player in the history of the game. None of these guys playing right now will catch him, even if Kobe continues to jack it, right? But, which he will. He won't stop shooting anytime soon. But at the end of the day, he hasn't been the greatest. Let's go over some of the draft picks, shall we?
No, not disagreeing, but he has stepped away of late. So it's like he knows that he can't manage the team.
He's not a great talent.
They had a really competitive team last year. I think adding Lance Stevenson looked like it would be a good move for them.
Yeah.
The problem is Lance Stevenson looked good on a team with
talked about
guys.
location, right? It's about where you're at, who you're playing with, and the chemistry.
So is Lance the problem? Quickly before we head to break, because I'm a huge Lance Stevenson fan.
I think it's on both. I think it's on Coach Clifford as well. I think it's both.
Okay,
I think it's them as well.
Yeah. Okay. And part of it's fit. I agree.
I think everyone's just singling out Lance. I'm going to call out Kemba Walker and the rest of them, all right? I think they need to be more supportive of my guy Lance.
I think it's the entire team.
Yeah, I agree.
Somebody help Lance out. Listen, still more to come here on the Hangout. When we come back, we got to torture you with news about the Philadelphia 76ers. No, they don't have the worst start in NBA history, but will they be the worst team in NBA history? Find out more when we come back on Canada's favorite place to talk basketball, Hangout.